Gratitude.
Ownership.
Leadership.
Discipline.
All right, here we are. We're at the Coaches Show again for, how many years have you been here now?
Year 6.
Year 6.
Going on year 6, yeah.
So you outlasted the other host of the Coaches Show.
That's right, right here so long.
Although
Recycling them through.
he's going to still be at the game.
That's right,
So-
that's right. Shout out Mr. Bass.
Mr. Bass, that's right. So everything I've heard so far, I've even talked to you a little bit, is community excitement. Like, we can't talk about games yet because
Right.
you're undefeated.
Right, that's right, everybody is. Yeah, exactly.
Whimsical, tell me about Whimsical.
Man, it's so cool. You know, I talk with our kids all the time, but just, you know, about how neat that is to have, you know, just several thousand people at an event to really come watch you practice, you know, and it's a
Right.
really cool deal. Every year I'm like, this is the biggest one. Then the next year, this is the biggest one. Next year, this is the biggest one. It just continues to grow each and every year. It's a super fun event. I love watching all the little guys run out of the smoke and, you know, the cheerleaders and just everyone involved, and it's just a really, really cool community event. Love seeing all the Gold Standard t-shirts and the Stinghams and Charlies, and, you know, I just feel like it just continues to grow each and every year, you know, and that's a huge, you know, shout out to Glenn Wagner with our INFC who does a great job, Aaron McConnell with our INFC who does a fantastic job, and just all the community sponsors that make it a huge event, and just continue to get that buzz going, you know, in the community, as you mentioned.
Yeah, my favorite part, honestly, is the second graders or the third graders.
Yeah.
And I've been here, I think this is my 18th year, and so I've seen those second graders, senior nights.
Right.
At this point, and like you see that cohesive program where people get excited and all of a sudden they get to be a part of it,
Right.
and then some of them go off to college.
Absolutely, and to be honest, that's actually, you know, my dream, and we're almost there. We started doing, you know, our INFC will warm up with the team every home game.
Yeah,
we'll be doing that going on 6 years. And if you haven't been to a game, they dress out with the team and do stretches with the team, and, you know, get to run some plays and dress in uniform. And I've you know, multiple pitchers obviously being here going on year 6, and, you know, I can't wait till that little second grader that's running out of the smoke is like, that's me. You know, and I think that's the coolest deal is, you know, he'll be able to go just straight from start all the way to finish. You know, and I think that's so huge. You know, a lot of coaches, you know, it's really easy to get lost in that and not understand the importance of trying to develop those kids, because you're always worried about now, the next year you're worried about now, the next year you're worried about now, you know, but I feel like something that we've been able to do a good job of is just developing those relationships between our, you know, our feeder programs from first grade all the way up, you know, and my goal is to know every single kid that plays football for Choctaw from first grade all the way through 12th. You know, and generally I'm pretty close on that, you know, being able to know all those guys' names and you know, and know them all, and, you know, been coaching them for a really long time. And so that's always been important to us. You know, we've grown roots here in the community of Choctaw. We'll be here for a really long time, you know, and want to be here forever. And, you know, and that's kind of how we've approached it with our coaching staff. And, you know, and it's starting to, you know, obviously if you really want to grow fruit, you need to start with the root, you know, and I feel like we've done a good job doing that.
Oh, I agree. It feels, you know, you sitting here, it just feels like you belong here, because like, your wife taught one of my kids, and my wife taught your wife, and so it just feels natural that we're sitting here part of the same community and working towards the same goal.
And I talk about all the time, you know, this is where I want to raise my family, you know, this is where I want to raise my kids. You know, my family bleeds blue and gold, you know, my kids, that's all they know is Charlie and Gold Standard and Stingham, and, you know, and that's everything to us and in our family, you know, and it's really important to me. You know, it's something I'm very passionate about. You know, I'm passionate about this community. I love this community. I love this school district. I love this town. You know, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. My favorite thing as a broadcaster, maybe not the same favorite thing you have, is the drama that goes throughout the season.
Oh, yeah.
And so, just briefly talking about the drama that we're about to go, talk to me about these awesome first 3 games. You got 3 games in a bye, right?
Yep.
Talk to me about these first 3 games. Of course, we've got Del City.
Right.
What's next?
Really tough team. Yeah, so we're going to get our non-district is Del City, Edmond, Santa Fe, and Westmore. And so, you know, in our tenure here at Choctaw, we've never ducked anybody. We've never ducked a team. We've always went after the best. And I really truly feel that, you know, our non-district, even though it counts for your record, obviously doesn't count for playoff implications. And like, I want to expose something, you know, I want to have something exposed in non-district. It's easy to go, you know, just schedule, you know, House of the Poor and, you know, and try to go 3-0 every year. But we've never ducked it. We've always gone after, we've always played out-of-state opponents and the toughest opponents that we can get. And this year is no different. You know, it's really, really hard. Our non-district is no joke. And every single one of those teams is, you know, arguably the most athletic teams on this side of the state. You know, and they'll expose some things on us for sure.
Well, and like I said, that's so very exciting. We're keeping it in the metro this year.
Right.
We're not going to Texas,
Yeah.
we're not going to Arkansas.
Right.
And so, you know, I'm just local little high school media, but this is
Absolutely.
going to be exposed to all Edmond area. It's going to be
Absolutely.
exposed to the entire metro area where we're going to be out there. Everybody's going to know our name after these 3 games.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of interesting you say that because, you know, we go to coaching clinics all over the country and we'll go and it's pretty rewarding and cool to us that, you know, we go and they'll see a gold standard on the sleeve or something, be like, hey, are you at Choctaw? Or they'll see a Charlie and they know it's Choctaw, Oklahoma. You know, and I think that's pretty cool. And, you know, I think that's a tribute to the success that we've had, but also the fact that, you know, we played, you know, Arkansas teams, we played Texas teams, we played Virginia teams,
Yes,
we played
yeah.
Oklahoma teams, and you know, so it gets you know, Choctaw out there. Choctaw's definitely on the map, and you know, is a growing community and a community that people want to be a part of and want to be part of the school system, and with our great administrators and teachers, and you know, just great overall community.
It is. Another thing that is my favorite part, and just because I've been here so long, is I like to see the seniors.
Right.
You know, also, this first game, I like to see those seniors, see what they're about,
Mhm.
because they finally developed into the seniors so that there are. I also like to see the people that didn't start last
Right.
year. Well, what are they gonna do? Can you,
Right.
maybe we will talk about them on another coaching show. Talk about the seniors, the big ones, the leadership roles that you
Sure.
got going on, because we got some pretty incredible seniors.
Absolutely, and you know, these guys, you know, we've known these guys since they were 7th graders, you know, coming through the system, and you know, it's like part of that is like, you know, you get to be really invested in the kids. You know, you've known them for so long, and you know, it feels like they should just be here forever. And it, you know, dawns on you that hey, you have, you know, roughly 3 more months with this group of kids that you've known forever.
Right.
You know, and it's I tell them like, you know, you feel like you have a lot of time, you really don't. You know, the urgency every day has to be there. You know, we have to have that urgency to improve each and every day, and just, you know, and be committed to that process of, you know, we don't have that many practices. I don't have that much more time with you. You know, and as a kid, I remember thinking time goes on forever, and you realize how finite a season is.
Right.
And I tell them all the time, they probably get tired of me listening to me say it, but I said, you know, 365 days from today, I'll still be here. You know, you're going to be somewhere else.
Right.
You know, and you'll be doing great things, there's no question, but in this short time we have together, we want to try to maximize it. And it's a wonderful group of seniors. The leadership we've had our highest attended summer we've ever had since I've been here, as far as just number of percent, you know, of kids being here, you know, and not missing days and all that kind of stuff. We have guys that, you know, do a lot of extra stuff. Our community cleanup event was enormous, led by these guys. You know, just like all the things that these senior class has done has been tremendous. And we do have several of those guys every single year that I love, that I call it, you know, they're built by the program, you know, and they help build themselves. And we have guys that, you know, when they came in as freshmen, were definitely not guaranteed to be starters, but they did what they're supposed to do. They trusted the process. They worked out every day. They showed up in the summer. They did stuff when they didn't want to do it. And then now those guys are developing, you know, into be great team leaders and just great players. And I can touch on a few. You know, Byron Jones is an absolute stud. Micah Tarbell, you know, a kid that just resilient and never quit. They'll get on the field. Jacoby McLean. You know, several guys that you know, I kind of go on and on, but guys that just, you know, Connor Stover is another one that just, you know, continued just to work and just trusted it, you know, and are very good players and are in a senior class that are as well respected as any members of the team.
Well, you mentioned those guys. I know them off the field, not necessarily on the field.
Wonderful kids.
But they're like leaders and positive
100%.
attitude off the field,
Right.
like in hard classes.
Right.
And so that's, I'm sure that multiplies in that.
Huge IQs on all these kids, are very, very intelligent. And you know, and I love those stories because, you know, I'm a kid in the program, and it's like, I maybe can't be Latrell Ray, you know, I can't be RJ Jackson.
Yeah,
You know, but can I work to be Byron Jones? You know, can I work to be Micah Tarbell? You know, can I do what those guys have done? And you know, and the respect that those guys garner just because the work they put in is tremendous.
Well, that's of course the beauty of football. Everybody has to do at least their job.
Absolutely.
And so if one person doesn't do their job, the play's busted.
Right.
So that's good to do. Really, that's all I got right now. I'm just super excited. You know, our sponsors, our advertisers, I've been talking to them. They're super excited.
Everybody, a lot of excitement.
They're just super excited to be
A lot of buzz.
of this community, and like,
100%.
it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's a great time to be Choctaw Yellow Jacket. You know, in my opinion, never been a better time. You know, every year it continues to build and get better and better and better. And just, you know, it's a lot of fun to be a part of. It's a lot of fun just to see just the, you know, the shift and culture and community support and all those kind of things. I love seeing all the Charlies all around town, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Any place around the metro and you may see a Charlie, you know, and see a little gold standard, and I see the t-shirts and the hats and all that kind of stuff, and it's really, really cool. Just the amount of exposure that you know, the city gets, and it just shines light on just a wonderful community.
I mean, it's great. I look forward to next week where we're gonna get to break down the game.
Yes.
Week 0. I mean, this is week 0,
Yeah,
right?
gotta move fast. Gotta move fast.
It throws so many teams off the rhythm that anything can happen,
Right.
and everything happens. So I'm looking for some excited plays, maybe some busted plays where some athletes got to make some plays. I know you're not looking forward to it, but as a broadcaster, that's exciting. So I'm looking forward to breaking that down, talking about that, and going through these first 3 games with you, preparing for the playoff race. And this is going to be exciting. We'll get to that later.
Super exciting.
So thank you, Coach, and everybody else. Let's get back to getting ready for the game.